Hello Year 2, how are you? And welcome to today's English lesson. So yesterday in our English lesson, we planned our very own bubble story, didn't we? We looked at the different parts of the story and decided which expanded noun phrases, which adverbs of place, which adverbs of manner, and which coordinating conjunctions we wanted to use in each part of the story. Now today, the time has arrived and we are going to start writing our own bubble story, or at least the beginning of it, okay? The first few paragraphs. Now, after we've finished writing our paragraphs, we're also going to check through our work. So read it again, like we should always do, to check for capital letters, full stops, and to also check that our verbs are in the correct tense. Because remember, when we write a story, our verbs have to be in the past tense. Now, I realise that it's quite a long time ago since we last looked at the past tense. So I thought it'd be a good idea to do a little retrieval activity so that you could practice the past tense a bit, and therefore that will help you when you come to writing your story in a few minutes. Okay, so here you go, here's your retrieval activity. There's a short paragraph, let me read it to you. Yesterday morning, I wake up and get out of bed at about 7. It is a beautiful day. The sun is shining and a breeze blows gently. That afternoon, after I finish the housework, I decide to take my dog for a walk. At around 3 o'clock, I push open my gate and start walking down the road. Now, what do you notice about the verbs in this passage? Yes, that's right, they're in the present tense. But really, we're talking about yesterday morning. We're talking about yesterday. So therefore, it needs to be in the past tense, doesn't it? Because it's already happened. So we're going to find the different verbs in this paragraph and change them to the past tense. So we're going to look at where the verbs are together. So the first sentence, yesterday morning, I wake up and get out of bed at about 7. Well, I wake up and get out of bed at about 7. Where are the two verbs in that sentence? Yes, that's right. I wake up and get out of bed. They're two actions. First you wake up, then you get out of bed. Now, what about the second one? It is a beautiful day. Yes, that's right, the verb is. And therefore, in the next sentence, the sun is shining. There's our other verb. And a breeze blows gently. Where's the verb in that part? Yes, that's right, it's blows. And that'll be very handy when we come to write our bubble story, because we'll need that verb, won't we? Now, what I'd like you to do is pause the video now and have a go. Can you find the other verbs in this paragraph? Okay, Year 2, so let's have a look. That afternoon, after I finished the housework, where's the verb that you found in that part of the sentence? Brilliant. I finish the housework. I decide to take my dog for a walk. Where's the verb there? Yes, that's right. It's decide, isn't it? It's what you do. It's an action. You decide something. At around 3 o'clock, I push open my gate and start walking down the road. Now, there are two verbs in this sentence, and well done if you spotted them. They are push and start. Okay, so now we've got all our verbs. I'd like to pause the video again and have a go at changing these present tense verbs into past tense verbs. Okay, pause the video now and have a go. Okay, Year 2. Well, did you remember that some past tense verbs are regular, where you just add the suffix ed, and some are irregular, so they don't follow that pattern? Let's have a look. So I wake up. What's that in the past tense? Remember we used that in Samuel Pepys's diary? Yes, that's right. It's I woke up. And get out of bed. Today I get out of bed. Yesterday I got out of bed. Fantastic if you got that right too. At about 7. It is a beautiful day. Today is a beautiful day. Yesterday was a beautiful day. There you go. And therefore, the sun was shining and a breeze blows gently. Today, a breeze blows gently. Yesterday, a breeze blew gently. Okay, that afternoon, after I finished the housework, so you need finished the housework, I decide to take my dog for a walk. Today, I decide. Yesterday, I decided. There we go. Now, the last two verbs, push and start, are both regular verbs. So therefore, what do we need to do to them to make them the past tense? At around 3 o'clock, I push open my gate and start walking down the road. Yes, that's right. I just need to add the suffix ed to each of them. So I pushed open my gate and started walking down the road. Fantastic. Well done if you got those right. Now, this will really help you when you come to write your bubble story, which we're going to start now. So here you go, last lesson, as I said, we planned our different parts of the bubble story. And this was the example I gave for the beginning of the story. I've got my adverbs of manner, my adverbs of place, I've got my expanded noun phrases and my sentence with a conjunction in. Now let's see how I change this plan into my first paragraph. There you go, here it is. Now I'm going to read all of it for you and then we're going to look at each sentence one at a time. So one gloomy day, a lonely glum girl named Gabby wandered aimlessly along the beach. She was listening to the sound of the gigantic, powerful waves crashing against the rocks, when suddenly she noticed something mysterious in the cold, golden sand. She didn't know what the object was, yet she still bent down to pick it up cautiously. She soon realised that it was a bottle of bubbles, so she slowly opened them and blew them carefully. Okay, now let's look at the first sentence. One gloomy day. So I've said when this is. It could be one dark night, or one sunny day, or late one night, or early in the morning. You can say when it is, maybe early in the morning, a lonely glum girl named Gabby. Okay, so see how you can change your sentence by changing when it was. Then we've got my expanded noun phrase, a lonely glum girl named Gabby. Okay, you could have a lonely sad girl or a lonely blue girl, or you don't even need the word lonely. You can change your expanded noun phrase with any noun that you'd like. One gloomy day, a lonely glum girl named Gabby. Okay, now I've got who it is and I've got when. Now, what do I need next? Yes, that's right. I've got my verb to say what she was doing. So she was wondering, she wondered. Then after my verb, I'm going to say how she wondered. So I've chosen aimlessly. Gabby wondered aimlessly. Gabby wondered leisurely. Gabby wondered slowly. Okay, all of these possibilities. And then along the beach. So where are my adverb of place? Along the beach, along the sand, down the beach, across the beach. Okay, there are all different types of adverb of manner that you could have a go at using in your paragraph, because remember, you don't want to just copy mine, you want to have a go at writing your own sentence. So look, in the first sentence, I've used an expanded noun phrase, an adverb of manner, and an adverb of place. And I've given you some different alternatives that you can use. Next one, she was listening to the sound of the gigantic, powerful waves. So there you go. There's my sense of hearing. She was listening to the sound of the gigantic, powerful waves. As she walked down the beach, she heard the gigantic, powerful waves. As she walked down the beach, she heard the noisy, wide-winged birds. Okay, you can change it, but I've written she was listening to the sound of the gigantic, powerful waves. So there's my expanded noun phrase. I've got my two adjectives and my comma in between, followed by my noun, which is waves. And then I've described where they were. So they were crashing, okay, against the rocks. So they were crashing against the rocks. That's where they were crashing. They were crashing against the sand, okay? They could be crashing against anything, crashing against a nearby boat. When suddenly she noticed something mysterious in the cold, golden sand. So I've used an expanded noun phrase here. You could use an expanded noun phrase for the sand, or maybe she noticed something mysterious in front of her, or in the distance, or on the floor in front of her. Okay, there are lots of different adverbs of place that you can use. I've chosen to use an expanded noun phrase and, well, an expanded noun phrase as my adverb of manner, adverb of place, but you can decide for yours. Next sentence. She didn't know what the object was. Well, now here I've used yet, so I'm going to have a contrasting sentence, aren't I? So even though she didn't know what it was, yet she still bent down to pick it up. We could have she didn't know what the object was, but she still bent down to pick it up. Okay, and I've described how she picked it up. So cautiously, okay, because she didn't know what it was. She didn't know what the object was, yet she still bent down to pick it up cautiously. She still bent down to pick it up slowly. She still bent down to pick it up nervously. Okay, she still bent down to pick it up gently. There's lots of different options that I could have used there. Now, she soon realised that it was a bottle of bubbles. So I needed to put a consequence of what she did as a consequence of realising it was a bottle of bubbles. So she slowly opened them. So there you go, I've described how she opened them, my adverb of manner, slowly, and blew them carefully. Okay, there's my other adverb of manner. Or you could say, so she quickly opened them and blew them gently. Or she carefully opened them and blew them cautiously. Okay, you can use lots of different adverbs of manner in that sentence. But remember, these are your sentences, not mine. So you need to make it your own. Okay, you can use my structure, but make sure you change it to make it your own. Okay, so what I'd like you to do now is pause the video and have a go at writing your first paragraph up until Gabby blows the bubbles.